welcome to another highly questionable work week. What do you like on the show today, Bo?
All the stuff Poppy did on the Gronk party cruise.
Oh, yeah, he got down. Vamos, Papi.
More impressive performance of the weekend. Damian Lillard, 51, crushing the Warriors, or the Unibrow, 59 and 20 against Detroit.
We cannot enjoy performances and talk about great performances. We must pit them against each other and make one better than the other, even though they were both pretty exceptional. I'll go Lillard here because he did it in 30 minutes. 51 points in 30 minutes. No one has gotten to 50 faster than that. Kobe Bryant took more time in getting to 50 when he scored 81 than that. Scoring that fast against the Warriors, that much is pretty impressive.
Okay, but we got 59 and we got 20 and we got a team that needed every single one of those points because nobody else showed up to play in that game but Anthony Davis. I mean, Lillard was on a roll. It was pretty incredible. But when you look at what Anthony Davis did, there's just not going to be a day where I'm saying somebody did better than 59 and 20 without 60 and 21. And bless Anthony Davis's heart, by the way, because since he didn't make that all-star starter, in order to get that super extension, he's got to make an all-NBA team. This would be what they should be doing from now on for the rest of the season. Help Anthony Davis get his money because y'all ain't helping him get to the playoffs.
I thought that this guy was supposed to be the MVP. You guys have been praising him for years.
Yeah,
you know,
haven't.
I mean, what he did in this game is the only time that he has shown up for a game.
Not the only time, but he's not yet 23 years old. It's pretty impressive, 59 and 20, no matter what age you are.
You are a special sort of hater these days. Like, you don't have anybody to root for anymore. All you do is hate on people.
Hate on us.
Oh, he is too young. He is too young. He's in the NBA. Get out there and play like that every game.
Okay.
That's what you get paid for.
All right. Though that would be a pretty good season.
Yeah,
if he did that every
average
game.
59 and 20, Wilt. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
How do you imagine Bill Belichick felt watching these videos of Gronk in his party cruise?
That was Belichick that he was trying to say. There you go, there you go.
Belichick. He did say Belichick.
Yeah, but they might not have known that's what he was saying. Anyway, Gronk had a party cruise this weekend. It was a cruise to go party with Gronk, although 70% of the people on that boat didn't go to party with Gronk. They just wound up on Gronk's boat. What did they see when they wound up on Gronk's boat? Yes, that's Gronk.
Dancing poorly. The different music than what Flo Rida was singing about.
Yes, there's that. And I don't think that's so much dancing as much as like calisthenic expression. Also, at some point, he offered a couple $10,000 to have sex on stage.
That was on his island. That was not on the boat. That
Oh,
was
sorry,
off there.
sorry,
I was on
sorry.
Gronk Island. Is that Red Foo a few videos ago? That was Red Foo. This is about what I thought this would look like, by the way.
What a life. What a life. What an amazing life that he manages to.
Nobody else in the history of sports has been granted this kind of leeway in terms of having fun. You remember the scandal we made out of that Viking sex boat? This was bigger. This had a lot more people on it. Now, granted, it wasn't prostitutes going over state lines, but you don't know that.
Do you think starting D'Angelo Russell for the rest of the season was actually Byron Scott's decision?
No, I do not believe that this was Byron Scott's decision. Byron Scott has had a weird relationship all year with D'Angelo Russell. He has sat him a couple times in the fourth quarter. He said he's okay with his confidence, but doesn't like when it seeps over into cockiness. Now he's playing the rest of the season as the starter. To my way of thinking, he should have been playing the entire season as the starter. This whole season, instead of a Kobe coronation, should have been about getting this guy as many minutes as possible.
No, like if he was starting for a game, I'd say maybe it was Byron Scott's decision. If it wound up lasting for 2 games, I'd say the same thing. When they say right now, this is what it's going to be for the rest of the season, that means there's a bit of a turn in what this season's about. Because Ms. Kupchak said they only basically had time to celebrate Kobe this year. There wasn't room to do any of this other stuff. Somebody made a decision, hey, we need to start working with some of these young guys we got because Kobe's going to be gone next year and Byron Scott better be gone too.
Just because he's in the starting lineup, that doesn't mean that he gets to shoot. You know, Kobe will have to say something about that.
Yeah, that's true, right? He can be in the starting lineup, but the 25 a game, that's still going to Kobe.
Hold on, he's used to being out there with swaggy pieces. He was coming off the bench. He knows how to cope with a dude taking all the shots.
Is it okay to chuckle at Pablo Sandoval's spring training belly? Or is that body shaming?
I mean, we normally don't start doing this until the combine and somebody gets caught like Andre Smith running with no shirt on, right? But Pablo Sandoval came out for spring training. He now plays for the Red Sox. They say they told him to lose about 20 pounds. I mean, if he lost them, they're found.
Whoa! The third baseman for the Red Sox is 7 months pregnant.
I feel like they caught him at a bad angle, though, man. Like, this is mad unfortunate what we do to him. I mean, it's an issue because last year he had an on-base percentage of .290. The thing is, he used to be good and fat. Now that he's bad and fat, we're going to act like the fat's a problem. He used to be entertaining to us when he was hitting and he's fat. All he's got to do is hit. Then the fat don't matter.
We caught him at a bad angle.
I mean, look at it. No, put it back out. No.
I mean,
no,
where are the good angles? I mean, that's fine.
I mean,
that
look,
is a bad angle,
he's
admittedly.
in the process of throwing.
Right.
Jameis Winston, they had that picture of him. And making it worse is Captain America back there. The contrast between him and Sandoval, like, you know, a lot of things conspired against him in that photographic moment.
I'm sure that'll go great, declining OPS for the last couple of years in Boston after signing a $90 million contract and being the worst defensive third baseman by range in the sport. That'll go fine, right?
I think that the camera has a bad angle on both of us, too. You know that?
I know. It's not body shaming if me and my father do it to you, but when El Flaco does it to you, it feels a little judgmental.
I ain't even do anything this time. Like, it's all funny games laughing at chubby people till I do it. Then all of a sudden they get all offended.
That's right.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, we talk to Jay Williams.
One night in particular, I had hung out all night long, partied, and literally had to take the subway back to my apartment. And next thing I knew, I woke up the next day in the corner of the subway in the same clothes I had wore that night, curled up, and still high from the night before and drunk.
Joining us at the beach today is Jay Williams.
Very good at basketball when he was at Duke. Motorcycle accident you may know about. He's got a new book, Life is Not an Accident, a memoir of reinvention. It's out now. Let's talk to Jay. Jay, what would you say was the most painful part revisiting in the book? Because that process can be hard when you have to go back and do some of that stuff. The most painful thing was what?
Probably reaccounting the person I was when I was 21 years old, right? It's one thing now being 34. I look back on that person, I'm like, oh, I think I was nice. And then I start to hear stories from other people, and I'm, wow, okay, I was kind of a wow, okay, maybe I was a little bit egotistical. Maybe I was into money and women the way I didn't think I was. I think that was the most painful part by far, just remembering all the things I had done wrong and then trying to own those things and apologize to the people I had done wrong to.
Which story in particular cut deepest? Do you have one among all of them?
It'd probably just be the life I started to live. You know what I mean, DL? Like, you know, with the girl that I was with coming out of college, I cheated on her a ton, and I got very much lost into that pro lifestyle of, you know, look, I would see guys, you know, literally before they jump on the plane, kiss their wives, kiss their kids goodbye, and then we would all go and we would go party, and then when we would come back, I would look their wives in the eyes like nothing ever happened, and they would too. And that was definitely the path I was going down, and kind of owning all my mistakes to her was something that was very cathartic for me to actually just not write down, but to have a conversation with her about.
Well, even having nothing to hide, I imagine some things are harder than others to bring yourself to share. What was the hardest thing to bring yourself to share?
Probably talking about the domestic violence with my father. That was difficult with my mother and how she was going to deal with that. She was a guidance counselor for a while, and you know, she had counseled so many people when they were going through their own issues with domestic violence. And then second would probably be about my drug addiction, you know, being addicted to Oxycontin, even while I worked here for a short stint, because I wanted to mute out all the voices. And I was lost for a very long time. And, you know, initially I needed the Oxycontin for my leg and for my pelvis, but eventually I just needed it in order to survive random conversations with people that would remind me of the worst day of my life, and how that just kind of took a toll on my body. And that was probably the most difficult thing to talk about, because I'm just letting people know that I had major issues and I was a shell of myself and I was lost in a dark space for a long time.
When and how did you figure out that you had an addiction, that the Oxycontin was a problem?
I didn't really figure that out until years afterwards. It was one of those things that I was so angry at throwing away this one chance in my life to become something I thought was great. And it was just a way for me to suppress all that anger and all that pain and all that sadness. You know, the one thing that we never want to show as men, we never want to be vulnerable. And every day of my life, I have people that come up to me and remind me of my accident and the biggest mistake I made. So I would allow that before I got addicted to Oxycontin to send me into a deeper, darker spiral of depression. And Oxycontin was able to take me away from that. So it wasn't until after my second suicide attempt until I got to a point where it's like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Is this going to be my legacy? I weighed around 220 pounds. I was drinking every single day. And that night before I fell down some stairs, I literally took 3 to 4 Oxycontin pills, and I drank a half bottle of Jack, and I said, I hope it's over. And the next day I woke up, and it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm here for a reason. Maybe there's a bigger purpose. And I just started to, my brash ego came into effect, and I started to stop doing it, and I just started to find out what this life was like without the pills.
The most out of control day when it came to addiction looked like what? Was it that day or was it another time?
No, a lot of out of control days. I would find myself randomly partying in New York City where people that I had just randomly met that night out with friends. One night in particular, I had hung out all night long, partied, and literally had to take the subway back to my apartment. And next thing I knew, I woke up the next day in the corner of the subway in the same clothes I had wore that night, curled up, and still high from the night before and drunk. So, that was probably one of the worst days because you wake up like, where the hell am I? What is happening right now? How did I even get to this point where I feel like I'm rock bottom? But it's amazing how, once again, you find a way to justify it because, sure enough, after that day was over, I got up, went back to my apartment, took a shower, went back into work like nothing ever happened. I was working for an agency at the time. And the next night, took another pill and did it again. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, how bad could it really be? And you never know because it never got me to the point where I almost died, thank God.
How long do you think you were sleeping on that subway?
I know the night probably ended early for me, like around 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up around 10 o'clock that morning.
Can you tell us, at the height of the intoxicants and of the temptation, when it was fun, what does that night look like? What does that time period look like where you're partaking in everything and your character can't keep up?
It's a whirlwind. It's something that happens so fast you can't necessarily pinpoint what was a great time and what wasn't. The line is blurred. Times that could be dark times don't seem that dark because you're out of it. There were times where I found fun in aggression, picking fights with people. Somebody saying to me, people say a lot of things all the time, and I think I kind of take on a quiet role. If you're at a bar and somebody says, hey, a couple of guys are in the corner joking around like, hey, Williams, way to screw up your career. Why don't you go hit another pole? And, now I wouldn't say anything, but back then when I was on Oxycontin, I would walk over to people and be like, okay, what you say? What you say? Like, ready to fight. And then they wouldn't say anything. So, and finding passion and fun in that, right? Challenging people to that degree. So a very warped sense of reality that took you to dark places that you could have a hard time justifying what was dark and what was happy.
But how often did that sort of thing happen? Because it's hard for me to imagine somebody just seeing someone and being like, hey, way to go mess up your life from a stranger.
It happens to him a lot. Like, people can be mean.
It happens all the time. And look, a prime example, I don't know what exactly happened with the Shady McCoy answer, but I'll tell you one thing as a professional athlete, when you step your foot on or off the court or on or off the field, it's difficult to turn that switch of aggression off, right? And we praise people for that aggression. So my thing is, all of a sudden you're in the real world and you make a mistake, Jalil Okafor, okay? A fan is taunting him. It's easy to say, walk away from it. But if you're on alcohol or if you're on prescribed medication and you're not in the right frame of mind, it's easy to revert back to who you were on the court, right? Like, I want to dunk on you. I want to dominate you. I want you to understand I'm superior to you. And it's easy for that to translate off the court for me. It was at the given time.
Why the need to be this honest now? Do you find therapy in it?
I do. And also, I think one of the things, too, is that I found that everybody has had some kind of accident in their life. And granted, it may not be a motorcycle accident, but, my friend, his wife divorced him, and she ended up, getting remarried back to somebody who was a hedge fund manager, the same business she worked at. And I watched him experience this accident for 2.5 years and how he started drinking a lot. A lot of times for my life, for the past, 13 plus years, it's been this climb. I've been climbing up this mountain because I felt jaded, right? I threw away the one opportunity I had to achieve something I've been waiting 21 years to achieve. And then it's like, if I can't do that, what the hell am I doing with my life? How can I get back to that status economically, financially, that makes me feel validated as a man? And I was climbing so damn long that I didn't pay attention to how far I had climbed or what the process was even like. So once I finally slowed myself down, I also realized, wow, okay, I've gone through a lot over these last 10 plus years. I've hurt a lot of people. Maybe I haven't been the guy I want to be. So just to kind of go back and just rethink about all the things I had done, I achieved, people I hurt, just to kind of talk and be honest with my story. I'm tired of reading all these stories where people just aren't honest about things. And look, nothing to hide. I made mistakes. We all make mistakes. I had to live with it, and I had to learn how to live with it.
Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that pick up a little souvenir from the Grunk boat. To your question.
Just give me some topics and events. Fast.
Do you question whether this was scripted?
All right, we're going out to like AA or AAA wrestling. I'm not sure what level it is. It's your man, Joey Ryan. You remember him? The dude with the super powerful imaginary.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
What'd he do now?
What'd he do?
This is not awesome, by the way.
Oh, that part may have been scripted. May have been scripted. Also, he's being very gentle with her. No, but see, he can't be pinned because the referee has been harmed, see, so. Those trunks, by the way, matching the boots.
He spent more on his outfit than he's making for this wrestling, right?
Yeah. Here he comes. Here he
With
comes.
a microphone?
Yeah, microphone. Oh, hairy chest, hair sweater on his chest. Yes.
We've been talking about this so much that I feel like this was the only way to surprise you. Laura Claire James, I love you with all my heart.
Oh, look at my father, moved by the romance.
I never saw that before.
Yeah, none of us had.
That's right.
Got a future touring the United States in front of tens of fans. Happily married. Yeah, Bomani is unimpressed.
There's the basketball.
Oh, he surprised her. Oh, that's the surprise move. Yes.
Wait. Hold. I don't care if it's scripted or not. Y'all got to get married now. Like, my general experience in this world is don't break out no rainbow just for no prop in the wrestling match. Like, y'all got to get married now. You do know this.
It takes a real man to get down on one knee and propose.
I mean, you haven't done it. You pointed a fork at Mom. You still haven't proposed to Mom. You still have not. No,
you keep coming back to the same argument, because you don't want to get married. That's why.
Whoa.
That's right.
Lashing out at me very angrily.
Just so you know, I did propose this one time. But I got
you propose?
I got the ring back, though.
Time to play the game that is launching the Papi boat next year. See? Oh, no.
Tell us what's on television tonight. He'll always be intrigued.
On Fox Sports Ohio, Pistons and Cavs.
Sure, interested in this. Andre Drummond, incidentally, one of the guys that Anthony Davis went for 59 against yesterday. He struggled the other day trying to dunk. He's very large, very big, very athletic, and that is not successful. That's starting from way too far away, Bomani. That doesn't work when you start from that far away. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Yeah, I guess I'll say I'm intrigued. And I know this is going to make me sound like an old man. But all these different colored jerseys make it oh so confusing for me to figure out exactly what the hell is going on in any level of game here. Like, it was really easy when I was a kid to know who the home team was when I turned on the game. Now I got to do some deducing.
You are absolutely right. You sounded like an old man. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because Andre the Giant has been looking forward to that matchup against LeBron and the Cavs, even though he has been having a rough time as of late. Tonight he's going to show everybody that he's still what it takes, He missed that dunk, but tonight he's going to go for 3 or 4 dunks. And then don't forget about Mr. October, too, Mr. October is going to have a big game today.
Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, Mr. October, right? Reggie Jackson, no? Yeah.
Now who sounds like an old man? The old man. The actual real life old man.
The actual old man.
On Fox Sports North, Celtics and Timberwolves.
The Celtics are good. They won at Denver yesterday by 20. How are the Celtics good? We should probably be analyzing that on this sports show. Not what we're going to do here, though. Karl Anthony Towns was taking a free throw the other day. That's what we're going to talk about.
Now it's Towns asserting himself.
Makes it, and where is the congratulations? There is
This
one.
time there's one more free throw
Okay.
coming.
He's got to go and search out his thank yous and his congratulations. Nobody's so interested. They've got a chemistry problem in Minnesota, clearly. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I'm just trying to figure out what Shabazz name. Shabazz Muhammad, if you look at it at the end, he's explaining why it was that he was not able to give him dap. And he seemed to be bothered that he had been interrupted to come give this man some dap on the free throw. He should have done like Andrew Bogut did that one time and dapped up himself.
That's right. Let's put that video up there of Andrew Bogut looking around and just doing it by himself. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because every time the Timberwolves, they take that, they're on TV, I'm watching because they got my favorite point guard, Ricky Rubio. That's the guy that I root for, and he's having a hell of a season.
You haven't seen a single one of their games, have you? Not a one.
I have seen all of them.
You're full of
Yes, that's right, that too. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you at the same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
Okay, good show.
Oh, really? You're going to do this to me again? All right, there it is. It never gets old. Excellent work.